I wanted to record this kind of video for a long time, but since I started reading the Bible this year, I finally feel like I have a good topic for you to bring from the holy book itself. That is not going to be about just talking about what happened, but something that can literally be implemented into your life and get it better. So today we are going to talk about the book of Genesis and the story of Joseph, who was the son of Jacob, who was the son of Isaac, who was the son of Abraham. So we know where we are in the timeline. So Joseph had in total 11 brothers, so they were 12 brothers. And he was of them the firstborn, and he was also feeling like the supreme one. Of course, not like some oppressor, but he had dreams showing him that he is going to be over his brothers. And he was telling this to his brothers, and his brothers got mad. I mean, they were angry and angry with time, and one day they decided to kill him. So when he was on the field, outside of the town, they tried to assassinate him, but suppressed, decided to leave him there. But the opportunity came to them because traders from Egypt were passing by. So the brothers of Jacob decided to sell him to those traders from Egypt. So in a matter of an hour or two, Joseph's life turned from being like amazing life where he is a firstborn child in the main family of Israel to being a slave. It's not very good perspective, do you think? But later on it gets interesting because he started in a very good place in Egypt. Like he was a slave to one of the most important people in the country, not to the main pharaoh, but you know. And he was doing pretty well there. With the help of God, he was able to deal with all the goods. He was made to cooperate, and he was liked by his master. But his wife wanted to fuck him. He didn't want to do that, so she accused him, and he ended up in jail. After some divagations with reading like dreams of people, one day Pharaoh had a dream. He had to know the meaning, and no one could read that. Then Joseph was mentioned to the Pharaoh, so the Pharaoh asked him to translate the dream. And the dream meaning was that the next 7 years in Egypt will be great in the matter of farming, like the years we haven't seen before. But the next 7 years are also the years that we haven't seen before, but the complete opposite, because almost nothing will grow. Absolute starvation of nature. So if the dream wasn't read, the dream wasn't understood, like after 7 years of being rich as a country, Egypt would starve in half a year because they would use all the food. But due to Joseph being there, and due to Joseph being a good distributor of goods before, one of the most important people, but not the most important, he became the main person in Egypt to deal with goods. So his plan was to save some food of every year to the magazines, and so the whole Egypt did that. So for the next 7 years they saved 1/5 of the food they created. So they have the magazines full for the next 7 years. And the 7 years came where all the people of Egypt would starve, literally all the people. Only due to Joseph's acts, Joseph's work, was he able to save thousands of people because they were able to buy food. But the story doesn't end here, because the Joseph mainland and his family also struggled with food. Like this starvation didn't only close to the Egypt borders. So Jacob sent his sons, Joseph's brothers, to buy food in Egypt. Do you see what happened? After some divagations also, all his family and all his main people, main tribe, were able to feed themselves and not die to starvation. So long story short, Joseph being treated like a slave from his own brothers turned out to saving his entire family, his entire tribe, his entire country, and the other country, probably not only one, from death. That's a very huge turn point. Being down there, literally under the camera, I'm showing literally here, being a slave, starting here pretty high as a family member, falling down, you feel like trash. But the life brings you something to bring you up here, because you saved so many lives. And it's not only about lives and farming and this stuff, because bad things happen to your life too. Of course they do. Sometimes you probably thought that, God, what are you doing? Why is it happening to me? Why is it happening that this stuff happened? That she left me? That I don't know. That I failed this exam? That I was deleted from school? I don't know. That my channel isn't working properly? That I don't get any views? That I'm shit in a video game? Anything? Some things are smaller, some things are higher in the hierarchy of pain. And this stuff happens to you. And you probably doubted, why is it happening? But think with that story. Bad things happening to you doesn't always mean that it was meant to be a bad happening. Maybe you just don't see what is going to happen in the near future. Maybe the thing that happened to you is about to turn into a miracle into your own life and lives of others, lives of your family, of your relatives, of your friends, maybe just of people around you. You could be looking for such correlations. I could be looking for such correlations. The thing that I started this channel comes partially from me being rejected by a girl that I was invested into for 2 years over, emotionally invested. And after I freed myself from her, I was literally on the edge of feeling depressive and suicidal, being down there. But this is one of the things that made me to create this channel and record those videos and talk to you about this today. So maybe after some time, my videos will start to get more and more views, and my message gets to the person that also feels suicidal. And my words are able to create a new view on the situation they are in, and they won't kill themselves. That is deep. It doesn't have to be that deep, but things that happen to you can go as far. Some of them will just be yeah, it will turn out as being better than you thought. And something I don't know, a girl doesn't like you after you ask her out, and after you learn that you wouldn't even be compatible because of, I don't know, her beliefs. Because you meet her somewhere and you learn that she has this and this belief, I don't know. Things that happen to you may seem bad at the moment. But using the story I told you today, the story placed in the holy book of Bible, which is my holy book, and if you watch this far, it's probably yours, it can turn out to be very better. Now go make your way to a better future.